Good afternoon, this is Keller Williams. How can I help you? Okay. Oh my God, really?
Hey, hey.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm frustrated, but it's all right. Nothing I can't figure out.
What's the matter?
What's that?
What's the matter?
Hey, I'm starting a Zoom. I'm going to have to call you back. Okay. Sorry, what you're asking, PJ?
No, I was just asking what's going on.
Something I don't even want to speak on because this is already being recorded.
Heard that. All right. Gotcha.
Which tactic are you doing today? 5?
5, yes. Tactic 5. Get to the table. Lead conversion.
All right. You're up on Facebook, and Tom's here.
Hello, everybody.
Cool.
Hey, Tom.
What's up, Tom?
How's it going today, sir?
It is going.
Awesome.
Getting everything set up here. How are you doing?
Great. Thank you.
How's the missus doing and her dad and everything?
Doing okay. In fact, we're waiting on word. I think they're going to discharge him later this afternoon, so we should be running to pick him up.
Really?
Yeah.
That's some good news.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you asking.
Absolutely. Get rolling in just a few seconds here. I love when I go from Zoom and then I look at like the Facebook live feed and I can see myself like fixing my hair or whatever and I look like an idiot. It's great. All right. All right, so let's get rolling. Well, what time is it? It's right at 2 o'clock. We'll wait one more minute and then we'll get going.
Good.
PJ, what's your skyline behind you?
Queen City.
What is what?
Is it? I'm so bad at this.
Yeah.
I asked what your skyline is behind you, your Zoom background.
Yeah, so this is a restaurant in Uptown called Fahrenheit that has a 180-degree view of the city. And so, and right behind it, like, so basically, where am I? So over here, there's like 2 like high-end penthouse condo apartments that are just above it that I think are both in the $2 million price range, something like that. So, yeah, I got this couple. This was Valentine celebrating their #1 in the world party up there, and so we got a nice little sunset picture of the city. I thought it was really good. So, all right. Well, don't see many jumping on. I'm sure we'll have a few more jumping on, but let's jump right into it. Today we're going to talk about tactic number 5 in the Shift book. So if you're following along or you got your book, we're on page 83. And this is talking about the market's less active right now. And so motivated leads are less forthcoming. And so what do we do right now in order to either motivate those leads more, or what can we do that can get more of those in? So right now, really what it comes down to is this is just a numbers game at this point. I'll tell you, this is going to be a unique shift. We know that it's different because we've never really had a shift that's not economically driven, that's more medically or pandemic-wise driven. So that's going to present some other challenges. And so some good and some bad come out of that. So let's just analyze that for a quick second. So we're talking about what do we need to do? What do we need to focus on right now so that our business bounces back or our business doesn't skip a beat, most preferably, is that, we're going to bounce back from this a lot faster than an economic shift in the market. So, for example, this is going to have some economic elements to it. However, for the most part, it shouldn't impact it as severely and as massive as a shift. I think we're almost going to see like this mini shift. And then I think later on in the year, we're going to see maybe a slightly secondary shift come from this, which is going to be more on the economically driven side. So right now, what we need to do, and I'm talking to everybody who's on this, guys, if you haven't, go take advantage of your ad campaigns through Command right now. Everybody, guys, write this down. Make a note for later, whatever you got to do. Everybody gets $30 towards going out, whatever types of ad campaigns you want to do. I think we've had two people in Cornelius, one person in Huntersville, and I don't think we've had anybody in Boone take advantage of this. Guys, it's free advertising, free marketing. Our leadership put this forward to help you. I don't know what more the leadership can do except literally go to your house and do the ad campaign for you. So go ahead and do it and take advantage of this. I was on a call this morning, as you guys know, that mindset call that I get on every morning at 7:30 in the morning. And on that call, one of the guys, Rob, had said he had went and spent $50 on Facebook ads. And in the course of 48 hours, 25 leads come in. And when he says leads, he means he actually had leads that are going to turn into something in the next 3 to 6 months down the road. So guys, if you're not taking advantage of that, that's on you. I'm not trying to beat you up about it, but this section right now that we're talking about, Tactic 5, is about the lead conversion. And so let's just take a look at, if you guys remember back to Ignite session 3, I believe it is, Find Your Business, where we talk about the capture. And the capture kind of looks like an upside down triangle, right? And so this is kind of your funnel, your filter, whatever you want to call it, that we're capturing all of these contacts coming in. And then, guys, then this is where the work comes in, right? It's on us once we've captured them to now go ahead and make a connection with them. This is what we call the 4 C's. So we have to capture first, then we have to connect, right? And so how do we connect? We connect through conversations. We connect through rapport building. We connect through anything that's really going to help us get to relate to those people better so that they can understand where we're coming from. We can understand where they're coming from, and we then know how to best help them. So don't forget the 4 C's, okay? So we've captured, now we're connecting, and now we're going to move to one of the either 3 or 4, okay? And so 1 is going to be that we cultivate that lead, okay? You may see in a month's time down the road, or even right now, hey, I just lost my job. I was just talking with an agent who's a good friend of mine, and she runs a team out of Ballantyne, and her brother-in-law just lost his job. And he was on furlough, and then the hammer came down Friday, and he's officially out of work, doesn't know what to do. So that's going to be something that we have to cultivate, right? We've got to go ahead and put them on a plan. And this is the thing, guys. You want to be a real expert, help people find, that's the real true expert real estate agents help connect people to what they need in their life, okay? If you guys are like me, I'm sure over the course of the last 2-3 months, even, you guys have been getting phone calls from people that work with you that say, hey, I heard now's the right time to refi, right? And some of you guys probably have gotten some of that. Okay, it's not your job to be a loan officer, yet it is your job to go ahead and reach out to the loan officer that did that person's deal, or reach out to your favorite refi loan officer and help them out. We're connectors, okay? Guys, the more that we can be in front of people so that they're calling us before they do anything with real estate or their home or their mortgage or anything like that, there's no reason why somebody should be calling us first. They'd say, well, call your bank, call whoever holds the note on your mortgage, call your favorite lender, right? Guys, we spend more time with them going through the process than anybody else does. So they're going to call us. It's our job to then connect them with the right people. And I promise you, if you start calling up a loan officer and saying, hey, I've got another refi for you, and I just did this last Thursday. I said, hey, I got another refi for you. And he was like, dude, thanks, man. It's going gangbusters. It's awesome. I was like, and by the way, I haven't gotten a deal from you in a while. I was like, so, go ahead and pass over your next unrepresented buyer. We'd love to help them. Oh, absolutely, 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 right? And if they don't, well, I'm sure there's much more or other qualified loan officers out there. So if you're in that situation where somebody's lost a job, somebody can't do something right now for whatever reason, we need to cultivate them. So how are we going to cultivate them? Well, first of all, we're going to put them into command. We're going to put them on some sort of a drip campaign, okay? So that we can continue to just stay in touch, have a conversation. Maybe if I know the circumstances, I'm going to put some notes in there, lost a job. When they do get a job, I know that whenever they get that next job, I'm going to put 6 months out. I'll reach out and touch again, because most people within a 6-month window of having a salary position can go ahead and get a loan again. Unless you're somebody in our field, right? Somebody in a commission-based job. Somebody in a commission-based job, it can take as much as 2 years. Then there's some stuff that's a base salary and partial commission. And so talk to your favorite loan officer about what that looks like. So we've captured, we've connected, we've cultivated, yet I don't need to cultivate this person. Tom's ready to go ahead and purchase a house right now, right? So I'm like, all right, so what am I going to do? I'm going to close for the appointment, okay? And so as a result, I'm going to say, all right, Tom, let's do a Zoom. Tom, when is a good time for us to meet and have this conversation? So guys, these are the 4 C's. This comes right out of MREA and obviously comes out of the Shift book as well. And again, this is a little bit more of that back to basics, right? Let's capture those people. Let's connect with those people, cultivate away. Yet we want to close for the appointment. You're going to have more cultivating than you're going to have closing for the appointment, probably, especially right now. So that's fine. So let's go ahead and let's not even put a number to cultivating. Let's put a number to closing on the appointment. Because right now, we may go 9 out of 10. We may go ahead and cultivate 19, 20 people. The close is going to be the most important thing because that's going to bring us immediate business right now. The cultivating is going to be our future business. All right? So those are the 4 C's. Capture, connect, cultivate, or close for the appointment. Now, let's ask, you guys might want to write this stuff down, okay? When we are connecting with somebody, well, PJ, what do you mean connect? But like, how am I supposed to connect? Like reach out and touch somebody type of deal? Figuratively speaking, yes. That's what we're going for here. So let me give you the 6 connecting questions that you guys need to be in your business. Number 1, who is this person, Tom, right? Oh, well, Tom is a guy, we went to college together, we're same fraternity, that's who he is. Okay, make notes about Tom in regards to that. What do they want or need to do? Okay, does Tom need to sell his house right now? Does Tom need to just refinance his house? Tom's kids are off to college. Maybe Tom wants to downsize. There's a sale and a buy in there. Really identify what they want or what they need to do, right? And as you guys all know, I'm sure you've heard me say this 100 times, we've got a needs analysis, we've got a wants analysis, right? And the needs are always going to outweigh the wants. And so what I do with all of my clients is I sit them down, I give them a blank sheet of paper, 1 through 10 on either side. List out your needs, list out your wants. We always do needs first because needs are more important. They're non-negotiables. And then I tell people, if we can go ahead and we can find a 80% of the needs and about 50% of the wants, we probably found their house. And if that doesn't work, then we need to move to like a new home construction or personalized design. Number 3 on the 6 connecting questions, where do they want or need to do it? Okay. Maybe Tom's just got a job offer somewhere and he needs to be in Phoenix, Arizona. We don't know, right? Or maybe it's a want, you know, he wants that mountain house and he's somewhere between, you know, either going out to Boone possibly for a mountain house, or maybe he wants to go up into West Virginia for a mountain house, or maybe he wants to go all the way out to Lake Tahoe or Salt Lake City for a mountain house because he enjoys skiing and that's what he wants to be around ski resorts. We don't know. So where, right? 4, why? Why do they want it? Why do they need it? Okay. This is probably one of the most important questions to determine where their motivation is coming from, right? Now, as we all know, you guys, I've told you this before, I'm sure you guys have heard it 100 times, Ford, right? People move for one of 4 reasons, okay? And that's family, occupation, recreation, dreams, right? So this finds out the motivation deep down in their heart. What do they want and why do they want it? So why do they want or need to do it? When we goal set for ourselves, you know, we put goals up there, and I'll tell you, it's really powerful when we can set goals and put them on a timeline for things, because then they show up in kind of a crazy way. I think a lot of you guys know about my 10-year goal, just, you know, 20 acres of land, 20 to 30 acres of land. I want to build my castle, right? Everybody laughs at me for that one. That's great. I was teaching last Thursday. I was teaching CES via Zoom to a group in Garner, North Carolina. And I was telling them about that goal. And yet again, somebody there, and we only had about 12, 16 people on that Zoom, somebody sent me over architectural designs on how to build a castle, which I thought was really cool. And so, you know, guys, what you put out in the universe is going to start coming back to you. So make sure that we're setting those goals. Yet when we find out that why question, we find out some buttons that we can push on people. And I don't mean it in a negative way to manipulate someone, yet a lot of times when somebody, I'm going to go back to using Tom as an example here. Tom won't sell his house right now. He will not take a lick under $350,000. Absolutely not. Yet Tom's goal is to get his mountain house. And because he wants to have a place for the kids, the grandkids, everybody else, family members to all come during the holidays. And as we're into October, well, we've got an offer of $345 on the table, Tom. And isn't it worth it so that you can be prepared this holiday season to be in your mountain house? What is really $5,000 when it comes down to talking about let's have the conversation. So that's what I mean. When you find out that motivation, you could go and apply a little bit of pressure for something that, you know what, Tom may be hell-bent on $350,000, yet maybe the market's never going to bring that. Right? And so that's where we as real estate professionals have to have a conversation. Yeah, number 4, why is the most important when it comes to the motivation. So number 5, when do they need to, or when do they want to their move by, whether that's purchase, sale, whatever, what have you. Sometimes we're on a little bit of a tight timeline where, you know, hey, I need to have it done before the school year starts because I got to get the kids into school. That's a common one that we hear a lot, right? Or doesn't really matter to me when you sell it ASAP because I'm getting moved to Phoenix in 2 weeks for my new job. So ASAP is the best way for me. A lot of people or investors, if you guys are working with any investors out there, you'll see I need it sold by the end of the year. There's a hard break, end of the year date. I need this thing closed or else it's going to roll into my taxes for the next year. So understand when they want, or sometimes when they need. Again, it's a wants and needs because that investor may need to sell that before December so they don't get the tax implication for another year. And then how do they plan to do it? Number 6, how? So if you look down the questions, it's who, what, where, when, why, when, that. Who, what, where, why, when, and how. And when we can go through these questions in our head, and we have these down in our pre-qualifying script, we can better understand when, where, and why Tom wants to go where he wants to go. And then we can go ahead and use that in our conversations that we're having with them. So if we're not cultivating them, we're going for the close. And so we've got, you guys have heard me talk about this before. We've got 10 different closes that will work, okay? Now, not every single one of these closes is going to work for everybody. So what is going to determine which type of close works for which person? Anybody know? Type in if you're on Facebook. I can see you there as well. But what is going to determine which type of close a person likes? It's going to come down to their personality, okay? So, for example, one of the closes is what we call a hard close. That's number one, okay? Do you want to buy the house, yes or no? That's a hard close, right? And let's use our embedded commands and our tonality when we're talking and say, so, Tom, this pretty much checks off everything in your box right now, so this seems like this would be the house you'd want to put an offer in, correct? That would be a hard close. Let's go for the soft close, right? You know, considering everything you filled out with the needs and wants analysis, I can see that we've got 9 of our 10 needs, and we've got 7 out of our wants. As I'm looking at the math, that's 90%, 70%. It pretty much sounds like this is probably the one we should put an offer in on. What do you think, right? There's your soft close. The direct close. Direct close, hard close, very similar. Yes or no? That's a very good example of a direct close, right? And if there wasn't any other reason than X, is there anything else why you would not put an offer in today? That would be very direct, right? And that's going to work good. The first and the third one are going to work very well with your high D personalities, right? The second one's going to work a little bit better with your high I's, and even your S and C's, because as you're walking them through it, they can logically think. Go for the indirect close, right? We've seen 3 properties today. We can do this one, kind of looks like this. This one kind of looks like that. And this one, the third one, looks like this. So where would you want to be? That'd be something great for an SC personality. Go for that indirect close. The trial close. You know, this property would make sense, wouldn't it? If they say no, okay, great, we're moving on, right? The trial close. The assumptive close. I couldn't see you really living anywhere else aside from here. Do you agree? Okay, that's the assumptive close. Negative, positive, right? Again, go back to that needs and wants analysis and start weighing out what's good, what the pros are, what the cons are, and then saying, okay, and now you're going to go back to question 4 for the motivation, right? So not to get long-winded, share a quick story with you guys. When I bought my first house, it was really, the motivation for me was about the money, okay? It was listed for $130,000, and we had been looking for 7 months for a house, and I ended up winning the multiple offer bid at $140,500, okay? Now, there was a couple of things in that house. If you looked at my needs and wants analysis, I said I would never live in an HOA. It was in an HOA. I said I would never have a bedroom on the first floor, master on the main. That was not the way I was raised. I was always raised that the bedrooms were upstairs, so to speak. I was like, that's weird. I would never live in that. I'm not in my 80s. I don't need that, you know. But I wasn't buying a ranch either. I was buying a 1.5 story, and the matter was on the main. Now, a couple of things that outweighed that was I had a small child. My son was about to turn 2 years old. I wanted it to be on a cul-de-sac for safety purposes. I also didn't want somebody right in my face in the back, so I bought one that backs up, okay? And so as a result, the dollar amount was the main motivating factor that was driving me on that one. So when you look at negative versus close, right, you're not always going to get 100% of what you want. And again, if somebody is hell bent on, right, then great, let's go talk to new home construction, right? Or let's go pick out a piece of land and build, right? So that's negative, positive. You got to play with it a little bit. The take back close, right? So if I'm doing a take back close, for example, Tom, you know, this house looks to be good and everything, but you know what? You're not going to like it because of boom, boom, and boom. And then you find out his real motivating factor, because he's going to say, well, the master on the main's not that bad. I can live with that. Oh, okay. So let me just make a note reel here, boom, 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 and I'm going to change, you know, basically the needs and wants analysis. I'm going to take notes for myself so I know what he can waver on and what he won't waver on. The tie down close, right? Whenever we're going to do a tie down, this makes the most amount of sense, doesn't it? That's a tie down, right? Because if they say no, then either we're way off in our conversation, we probably need to go back to square one. And then the alternative choice close, right? So when we've got alternative choice, right? We've got, this has these out of your top 10 needs that you want, that you have in a property, Tom. This one highlights these three to the best of the ability, I think, out of any property we've looked at. And this other property highlights these three better than this one, better than that one. And again, it's really coming down to finding out more about the motivation around what house, and then as a result, what we need to do. So just to review real quick, we're talking about shift tactic 5 today. Okay, I see a couple people jumped on a little bit late. So get to the table, the lead conversion, talking about the 4 C's, okay? Capture, connect, cultivate, or close the appointment. We talked about the 6 questions, and then we talked about the 10 closes that work with people. So guys, in all of these instances, in all of these situations, you know, you guys have to be ethical when you're going through this. You learn a lot about your clients in this process. Sometimes you learn a little bit too much about it. I've had husband wives have an argument in front of me before. I'm sure a lot of you guys have as well. It's almost like you kind of become a part of the extended family for that duration of 90 days, 3 months, whatever. And when that does happen, don't let that bug you out. Don't let that make you feel awkward, okay? Because that just says that you guys are doing your job, like probably above and beyond where most real estate agents are. And so as a result, it's showing that they find faith, trust, and love in you, that they're trusting you, because let's face it, guys, it's the largest financial investment of most people's lifetime, or at least it's in the top 3. And so the fact that somebody admires that they're willing to be open and share and converse with you in that manner is awesome. So be mindful of that. All right, last thing. Tomorrow, we're going to review tactic number 6, catch people in your web, and internet lead conversion. This is going to be a little bit different of a conversation based around everything that we've got going on with Command inside of our businesses right now. So, guys, questions, throw them down the bottom. Other than that, you know, the last part of tactic 5 is really be a lead converter, okay? I don't care, oh, I forgot to call that person. Oh, no, they're not going to want to pick up now. I told them I was going to call them on Friday. It's Monday. I can't do it. Guys, just pick up and make the phone call, right? Just go out there and do the things that you need to do to become that lead converter. So, guys, thank you so much for being here today. If you need anything from me, give me a buzz. I'm going to quick apologize to everybody. I was using this thing on the computer called Boomerang, and that's why you guys haven't seen my daily updates going out via email. There will be one going out today with some good information. So, guys, make it a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good day. Bye.